Well, thank you YWCA for attending and students for attending as well. We'd like to start off our presentation. We're a newly reformed group, so we'd like to introduce ourselves. We are Williams and Markin Consulting. This is Davis. This is Shaylin. This is myself, Kareem. This is Alex, and this is Arth. And we'd like to tell you about our event, Bowling for a Cause. So Bowling for a Cause, just going to give you an overview of the event. It is geared towards the YWCA, hosted by us, the IME program, involving the entire class. Our strategy and budget are going to be brought up by fellow members, as well as our expenses, our sponsorship, and our food and beverages. Up above, you will see we have a mock-up poster regarding what we want to go over in the details of the event, and just to show a little bit of what the advertising will look like in the future. So our strategy for the event is as follows. It's a very low-cost, low-risk event. We're also being very safe. In our projections, you'll see that there are base numbers, not including the total revenue streams that will be included. It is silent auction focused for the main revenue stream, and it's attracting people with low prices, so students and communities, so it's available as an event able to be attended by anyone. Our target audiences are primarily business people, as they have the most influence as well as networking and money to spend. Secondary is senior citizens. This is something that is very popular among them. And our tertiary target is university students, allowing them to have something fun to do and at a low cost be able to participate in teams with friends and have fun with the competition. So I'll pass it on to Alex now to go over our budget.
Thank you so much. So here's a little bit of a brief summary of our budget. As Kareem says, we've gone very low cost, charging $25 a person or $100 for a team of 4. And with that, we only need 4 teams to break even, or 16 people. So obviously, that's very great. 17th person signs up, we've made money. Not much, but that's not how we're planning to make the money. As we've outlined here, we've got 3 projections of 12, 24, and 48 teams. 48 teams is just below 200 people, and you can see we obviously have a pretty strong margin on that. Now, that is not where we're going to make our money. We're going to make our money at the event on silent auction, as Davis is going to speak to in the future, as well as the 50-50, which we're going to be having at the event. The idea of the event is to not lose money, to get them in the door at a low cost, and to get them buying silent auction items. So I'm going to talk just a little bit about some of the expenses we have. Again, we've tried to keep it low cost so we can put this event on for a very reasonable price, attract business people, and the time when they're always going to be asked for money. We wanted to make sure that there's benefit to them, as well as it being a very low cost to them. So we have a short advertising budget for $60 for posters, as well as for our community packages, which will be going out. Kareem is going to be in charge of that. A trophy to display for our winner of our first annual bowling tournament. 50-50 expenses include the AGLC license, as well as some added event expenses and thank you cards for after. So now I'm going to pass it off to Davis, and he's going to speak a little bit more about our sponsorship aspect.
Excellent. So we are, for the IME students, you know the group here, we have accounting students coming out of our ears. So this has been very well budgeted. And if you want to take away one thing from our event, it's been hammered home a couple times now, but listen again. Strategy, very simply, we want to attract and extract. We want people coming in, and then we want to get their money with the silent auction items, donation jars, and such. So right now, we know we have a fantastic network within this class. We know you guys know people. We have connections with businesses. We want to market it to the businesses as a team building opportunity, very low cost team building opportunity. To get them in the door, we want to get those silent auction items. They've come in at a low price. We're hoping that they'll spend their money on those silent auction items. Speaking of which, we have done some preparation ahead of time, and currently we have some very flexible silent auction item donations, and we're at over $600 in donations so far. And going along with the preparation as well, we have set up a already tentative sponsorship letter that we're hoping to distribute out to businesses to try and get those silent auction donations, as well as at the same time get them to come in and register a team. So I'm going to pass it off to Shay now. Talk about food and beverage.
All right. So keeping up with our low-cost budget that we prepared, buying food from the bowling alley itself just does not seem to work out for us. It'll just get a little too expensive for us. And if it gets too expensive, it'll just keep on raising our per head price, and we do not want to do that. We want to attract more people to the event and just have fun and raise some money. So we came up with an idea of giving out gift bags, putting 3 or 4 items in it and just handing out to everybody that comes to the event. This is a very low cost and keeps our budget under cost, and we can spend the rest of the money with our budget on something important that comes up later in the event if it does. Another thing that another idea that we came up with is to partner with a local restaurant here in Lethbridge and pitch them an idea of giving out drink tickets, So afterwards, after the bowling party, everybody can go out to this restaurant and redeem the drink ticket and, order some food, get some more networking done, and then, just have fun at the restaurant, That way the restaurant itself gets more awareness, gets more customer traffic for the day, and, make some profit as well. Now, the idea of the after party that's up there is solely based on the drink tickets that we provide to everyone. It is not in our budget to cover the after party. It is based on the people, just going to the restaurant and redeeming the drink ticket and just having fun. It is the restaurant's liability, kind of thing. And I'll just pass it on to Shay to just wrap things up with the presentation.
All right, so after everything has come together, we have the event, and this is going to be held at Holiday Bowl. We already have a quote, and we are hoping to hold it on March 19th. That's a Saturday, in the afternoon from about 2 to 6, we're hoping. So up to the event, Kareem will be the head of advertising, and this is going out to businesses, so he will have a group of you guys going out with him, advertising and trying to attract these people. Arth will also head the food and beverage part of the event. And then Alex and Davis are going to be the heads of the sponsorship. So this is going out and looking for our silent auction items and people who would want to donate as well. Then we have the event, and I will be the event coordinator, and I will have a team of all you lovely people to help get this event off and running. So first of all, I would like to point out that we have a check-in, and that is where we will get the people to register and let us know that they are there and sign in and appoint them to their lanes and which pool they will be bowling in. Then we will have a setup and cleanup crew so that everything is all in order and so that we take care of the property that we are using for this event. And then we have 50-50 sellers. We already have some in mind, Janelle and Brittany, since you're also there, to go around and sell, because this is also where we're going to make money, because aside from covering the AGLC license, it's all pure profit on the 50-50. And that's the event. It's going to be a fun night full of bowling and competition in between the businesses, and if we have to, some of the elderly people that we are hoping to attract. And it's low cost, it's low risk. We're making a profit no matter how many people we have come in. And Holiday Bowl is very excited to work with the YWCA should we win this event. And Markin and Williams, thank you for listening to our presentation, and we open the floor to questions.
Is Holiday Bowl okay with you bringing external food into the...
We can't bring in external food, but we can bring in gift bags, and that is covered under that. We are bringing gift bags in with like an orange and a cookie.
And they're okay?
And yeah, they're okay with that.
How serious do you want this event to be? Because I know there's some golf tournaments that have like a lot of fun with their teams, where they can wear like wacky costumes and that sort of stuff. Are you considering taking that angle with this bowling tournament?
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what we're doing. This is not a networking event. This is a fun event for team building that businesses can come out to. There's so many networking events. There's so many dinners at the time of year. We thought something different might be refreshing for the people we're trying to attract.
And who doesn't love bowling?
3 games, $25. Cheap.
Does that include shoes as well?
Yeah.
Yes. Jack.
So you said it's gonna take place from like 2 to 6, you said?
Yeah, we're hoping to start it at 2 or 3 and go for 4 or 5 hours.
Right.
Yeah.
So how many teams can play at one time? Do you see people coming in at different times to play?
The scheduling is going to depend on how many we get registered. They have up to 20 lanes, so we could have 20 teams at a time maximum. We can potentially get 80 teams overall, but if we get 6 teams, we're obviously going to schedule it 2 lanes probably. So, Jack, let me get.
Is Holiday Bowl okay with all the silent auction items being set up, and by chance it being set up longer? You asked them about that.
Set up longer.
Like I know Galaxy Bowl, they do for cancer fundraiser, they have the silent auction set up for like a whole month just in the bowling alley. So that might be something.
That's certainly one angle we could take with it. Basically, they do have a room off to the side of the actual bowling area, which they can use as a banquet area. That's where we're planning on having the silent auction set up. So when people are off games, they can go take a look at the wonderful items that we've got donated. Hopefully buy some of them.
We're also hoping to have like little mini games going along so that the teams that are off on their bowling, that they have something to do. So we have like a jelly bean jar that we're thinking of doing and just fun little things. So there's also that, as long as an intermission we have been tossing around. So taking a break so that people can all go look at the silent auction items and, you know, conversate and everything. Those lines.
Is there any prizes for winning the tournament?
Just we got the trophy, but and it's a nice trophy, the one we've been looking at. Very nice and big, all those glasses. But we do have some for the jelly bean jar specifically. We did have a plan for the winner of that to get a prize. So
Okay.
depending on the amount of silent auction items donated, we could look at that. But if there's fewer silent auction items donated, we'd want to sell them outright. Kristen?
Have you talked to any specific restaurants? Because it is a Saturday night, so getting drink tickets and then sending however many teams to, and I mean, obviously it's their option to go to the restaurant, but I'm just saying it'd be a big increase for that type of restaurant.
Definitely is. We didn't want to speak to any restaurants about this because that's obviously a big commitment before we know if the event is actually happening or not. But there's obviously a few that we had in mind that might have the capacity with our projected numbers.
Like one thing we looked at is Average Joe's, and there's nothing being held on that night, like no concerts or UFC or anything. So that's one potential because it won't conflict with anything that they're hosting. So.
Alex, sorry.
Just considering on how early it's occurring, like when do you foresee beginning like this whole like getting teams in and like approaching businesses? Like at what point do you see that occurring?
Immediately. That's why we already have the sponsorship order drawn up. We're going to start. We have also a list of businesses drawn up that we're going to be approaching with our personal connections as well as your personal connections. So as soon as we're hopefully confirmed as the event, we will be sending it with you guys. We'll be right out the door doing that. Definitely.
Can you go through the team prices again? I missed that.
Sure. Can you flip back? So we're charging $100 a team or $25 a person, and our variable cost per team is $5.50 per person per team. And then we also have 86 cents per person per food bag, which amounts to about $70 a team in cost, $100 in profit per team.
So does it have to be 4 people per team?
That's what we're aiming for. If someone was to register with 3 people, and we had an individual register or not, we could just put someone from the IME program on their team, round it out to 4. We can work something out with that.
Because the lanes at Holiday Bowl also hold up to 6 people.
Right.
So just depends on team size.
Right.
Profits above this, any projection based on silent auction and 50/50? Do you have a number in mind?
We think that we can get at least probably 60% of the value of the silent auction items, given that we got such a low entry fee. But people are pretty hard to predict, to be honest. You never know how it might go. We didn't want to speculate too hard.
Anything else? All right, thank you very much.